Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Um, as always, giving honor to the ancestors, the Creator, my sister, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, my in-laws, my father, and all of your ancestors and family, and all my supporters, and all my followers and subscribers. It's pretty hot in here today, and I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. But I want to pick up on some things that I discussed earlier in the week. But first, I want to send some energy to Sister Latoya Jackson, who recently suffered a stroke, and we want to send our condolences, not condolences, but send some positive energy that she may make a full recovery, because these strokes and the physical ailments that our people are suffering and have been suffering within the last 2 decades have been detrimental, have been severe in terms of our medical and physical quality that we have. So we have to increase our quality of life, as well as increase our dieting, increase our spiritual incline, among other things. But we wish Sister Latoya a full recovery. Now, I want to throw something out there right quick, because Latoya Jackson was the only one who spoke against the murder of her brother Michael. She was the first one that said, Michael, these are pictures of Latoya before the skin peeling, and she was the first one that spoke and informed everybody as to be an African whistleblower, and had the courage to say that Michael was murdered, in which she was absolutely correct. Now, all of a sudden, of all the family members, even Catherine and Joseph, who are up in age, Latoya ends up with a stroke. And I don't believe that's by coincidence or happenstance or circumstance. So, and I'm quite sure deep down inside you don't believe that either. But nevertheless, let us send our prayers, our energy to Sister Latoya, that she makes a full recovery, and we wish nothing but the best for her. And those are just some photos of before and after, because she was a beast. She was a beautiful African queen before she began going under that knife. And however, we can talk about that at a later date. But let's just wish her a full recovery. Let's talk about the Sam Cooke murder, which I discussed several years ago. Done lectures on it and the likes, as well as Otis Redding and James Brown. And let's just, recap some things concerning Sam Cooke for those who don't know. Sam Cooke was the Michael Jackson of the 1960s. He owned his own publishing, his masters, his own recording company. Everything belonged to him. And during those days, that was very, very unheard of for a black man in the music industry, which was run by the Italian mobsters. And that's why the Temptations, Four Tops, you never heard of them having any type of money problems or tax problems, because they were being gravely, thoroughly extorted by the mobsters of the industry. Because Berry Gordy did not own Motown. Berry Gordy was more like a talent scout. the mobsters of the mobsters, Italian mobsters in Detroit owned Motown. And don't get it twisted. And that's why those who spoke out were dealt with. Tammy Terrell, David Ruffin, they were dealt with when they spoke out against the injustices that took place in terms of the wealth they were supposed to receive for all the blood, sweat, and tears and things that they went through as far as performing, in hick towns, being pulled over by racist white cops, being made to sing like in the movie Five Heartbeats. That happened to mostly all of our black entertainers back then. So, but Sam Cooke was one of those. He was his own boss. Here he is early on with Lou Rawls, and what happened? They were traveling. Lou Rawls used to sing with Sam Cooke. They all used to sing together, and they were traveling one night and got in a car accident, and the driver of the car was beheaded in the accident, and that kind of traumatized Sam, Lou Rawls, and the other occupants that were in the car. Terrible, vicious accident, and which nearly everybody was severely injured. However, they pulled through. Sam Cooke, a lot of entertainers in the industry wanted to link up with Cooke. Here he is with Nat King Cole. And Sam was also a player. He was a ladies' man. No doubt about that. Here he is with Tammy Terrell. But Sam Cooke had an angelic voice. Powerful, thorough voice. He was a smooth entertainer. He had a lot of caress. He had a lot of swag. And women loved him. And a lot of, back then they had haters too. But it wasn't as widespread as it is today. But Sam was a pioneer in the game. Major player in the game. Here he is holding hands with Aretha Franklin. And once again, Sam was a player. Although Aretha denied the allegations that her and Sam were intimate, even though they shared a hotel room one night. But nevertheless, that's, we have to just go by what Aretha says. Powerful player. And that's when he married Barbara Campbell. She became Barbara Cooke. And they were married, and they had 2 children. A boy and a girl. Cassius Clay at the time, who we know as Muhammad Ali, was best friends with Sam Cooke. They were extremely tight, along with Malcolm X. They were a very tight trio. And matter of fact, Cooke and Ali did a couple of songs together. And Cassius Clay was very close with Malcolm X as well. Although they fell out near the end of Malcolm's life when Malcolm went public about Elijah Muhammad's affair with teenage young girls who were his secretaries. Ali felt that Malcolm had betrayed Elijah Muhammad. But later on in life, Ali recanted and said that was one of the worst mistakes and decisions he ever made in his life, was when he cut Malcolm X off. Maybe because he might have thought he could have stopped the assassination. Who knows? And that's the way in with the invincible at the time, Sonny Liston, who annihilated Floyd Patterson. Sonny Liston, who was a convict street, he was a street nigga, thug, knockout artist. Hit so hard one time, and Bert Sugar even said that Sonny Liston had a jab straight from hell, because he had altercations with the police a lot in St. Louis and in Philadelphia. As a matter of fact, he hit one policeman in the face. He hit him so hard that the police leg broke. His leg literally cracked from being hit in the face by Liston. And so, Cassius Clay, being 19 or 20 years old at the time, he was fighting for the heavyweight title, which he had to fight Sonny Liston, who people predicted that Sonny Liston was going to murder Ali. And they even asked Ali, did he want to set up some insurance policies, you know, in case he was killed in the ring by Liston. And this is Ali Clay. I'm just going to use Clay at the time. Clay, who was using the psych game. He used a mental strategy on Sonny Liston. As you can see, this is before the fight, and he was still in the studio with Sam Cooke after he trained, in which he defeated Sonny Liston twice. In which Sonny Liston said before he was murdered, and I'm going to do a video on Liston as well. You know, he was the unsung hero. However, Liston said that the fight was fixed, that he felt he didn't want to get back up, knowing he was going to lose, that Clay was faster on his feet and faster at the punch than he was. And that's when Ali, right there, Clay was telling him to get up because people going to think the fight was fixed, which he was absolutely right. But Clay didn't have anything to do with the fight being, with Liston falling down. This devil here, Alan Klein, who was Cooke's manager, who robbed Cooke of everything. Everything. And this devil, he was responsible for breaking up the Beatles and breaking them down. And he took John Lennon and Yoko Ono, and he robbed them as well. Prior to, you know, he may have had something to do with John Lennon being assassinated as well. But Klein was a ruthless, white, so-called Jew. Ruthless. And, you know, these pictures are not going to go on a chronological order, brothers and sisters, but this is still some more footage of Clay Liston. Shortly after Malcolm X was assassinated, right before the second fight, February 21st, 1965, Brother Malcolm was assassinated in the Audubon Ballroom. As you can see him laying here with FBI informants trying to revive him. But actually they were just making sure that he was deceased. That's Malcolm in the morgue. Pictures are upright. But Malcolm was he was a shining hero. Ozzie Davis performed the eulogy at Malcolm's funeral. And just because of misunderstandings, the FBI, the New York Police, NYPD, Everybody was in on this hit on Malcolm X. It just wasn't the Nation of Islam, in which Minister Farrakhan spoke very disrespectful of Malcolm. It's Malcolm lying in state. May brother rest in power. Matter of fact, his birthday is coming up. Next Saturday is Malcolm X's birthday, May the 19th. This distraught, Sam Cooke was distraught beyond measure. Sam Cooke got with Martin Luther King and Cassius Clay. And Cooke was an avid reader. Believe me, he was a historian himself. He was a revolutionary as well. He was a black nationalist. And he had made it his will that from now on, the proceeds, a large proceeds of his money from his music was going to the civil rights movement. And that's when he sung the record, A Change Is Gonna Come. And those proceeds were, a large portion of those proceeds were to go to the civil rights movement to help Dr. King in his quest. Now, Barbara Campbell, Sam's wife, who was so disrespectful and so much of a hoe, she was sleeping with Bobby Womack in Sam's house, which Bobby Womack was a protege of Sam Cooke. He was a student of Cooke and was supposed to be best friends with Cooke, but was sleeping with Cooke's wife, Barbara Cooke, who just demonstrated a lot of whorish behaviors. And one day they were in there having sex, and Sam's son, Vincent, was 2 years old at the time, unattended at the swimming pool, and ended up found drowned in the swimming pool. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back between Barbara and Sam Cooke. And they divorced. And so Bobby Womack became Sam's wife's lover. These are the Cooke brothers. L.C. Cooke, who was the hardest one. He was the thug out of the family. In which he, matter of fact, at Sam Cooke's funeral, he pistol whipped Bobby Womack, knocked several teeth out, knocked him out cold. That's L.C. right there. He was part of black underground organized crime. Now, this is the devil, Mickey Cohen, who ran Los Angeles. He was he was the mobster that ran L.A. And so he sent his capos to Cooke because he wanted to extort Cooke. Sam Cooke refused to be extorted by Mickey Cohen. They used to meet at a restaurant called PJ's in Los Angeles, where all mobsters and gangsters and thugs and lowlifes dined at. However, Sam Cooke used to go there, frequent there, and Cohen met Cooke there and asked him several times would he he tried to lean on Cooke and press him out and extort him, and Cooke didn't allow that. Brother L.C. stood up for Cooke as well. And so Mickey Cohen put in the orders for the assassination of Cooke. That's the devil, Mickey Cohen, right there. One of his capos. And that's believed to be one of the men that was in on the murder of Sam Cooke. So what Cohen did was take this tramp hoe slut, Elisa Boyer, to set Sam up and get him to a hotel or motel so the mobsters could murder Sam Cooke. And so Bertha Lee Franklin, the hotel manager of the hotel Lucinda Hotel, was paid to take the blame and the charge for the murder of Sam Cooke. The Hacienda Hotel, the Hacienda Hotel, $3 motel, $3 motel, which Sam had no business going to. But like I said, Sam was a player, and Sam was the skirt chaser. So Elisa Boyer got him into this motel, got him to undress. Sam was in the shower. She ran out of the hotel room, taking Sam's clothes, which his wallet had $5,000 in it, and she ran up the street, claiming to be assaulted, to draw the police to her, while the mobsters went in the room, catching Cooke coming out of the shower, attempting to get dressed. Nothing was left in the room for him in terms of his clothes but his sport coat. And the mobsters murdered Cooke. And the hotel manager, Bertha Lee Franklin, stated that Cooke ran towards her office naked, and she shot Cooke once in the chest. This is Sam Cooke on the hotel floor, supposedly with one gunshot wound to the chest. The coroner taking Sam's body out of the hotel room. Cassius Clay looking down at Sam Cooke. Now, I'm going to put some pieces together for you in a second. As you can see, Sam's daughter, Sam's son, Sam's ex-wife, Bertha Lee Franklin, and Elisa Boyer. Those pictures below. Now, this queen, who I will be grateful for her forever, Etta James, who was very, very close with Sam Cooke. When Sam was murdered, she went to the morgue to identify Sam Cooke's body. And what she found was mind-blowing. Bertha Lee Franklin stated that she shot Cooke once in the chest. Sam Cooke was shot 4 times, twice in the chest, twice in the back. Etta James stated in her book, Raised to Survive, that Sam Cooke, his head was nearly decapitated. Nose was almost broken in pieces. His hands was broken and crushed, and the top of his head was caved in. So that couldn't have been done by one woman. And so that's how it was out that Mickey Cohen was responsible for the hit. Thanks to Sister Etta James. May she rest in power. Mickey Coleman wasn't even questioned, because you couldn't question a white person about a black person's murder. And he had that much, he had a power in LA. So he wasn't even questioned. But my question is, why didn't the brothers go after these punks? Etta James, in her book, Raised to Survive, she wanted to go after him, and she had the heart to go after him. This is Sam. As you can see, his hands are broken, his face mangled. You know, he was barely he was like restructured for the viewing. And this is the setup that they used. Bertha Lee Franklin stated she shot Cooke one time in the chest with that little 22, and which wasn't, the bullets were 38 shells that were found in Sam Cooke's body. But nothing was done. Bertha Lee Franklin wasn't even charged, with the murder of Sam Cooke or anything. They labeled it a justified homicide because of Mickey Cohen's, the pull he had with the LAPD. And this is the so-called hearing where the whole slut, Elisa Boyer, was so-called questioned, if you want to call it that. If you can look at the face of the judge, the presiding judge, he couldn't wait till the hearing was over. And in the meantime, Alan Klein, forged his name on all of Sam's royalties and all of his music, all of his masters, and his studio and everything. And the family could not do anything about it. And this devil, white Jew cracker, walked off with literally all of Sam Cooke's music, royalties, money, savings, and the works. And left the Cooke family high and dry and broke. And he did not give a fuck. He did not care. Sam Cooke was a thorough brother. A change gonna come. That record, continued to sell worldwide. And a lot of you probably remember it because that was the song that was played in the Malcolm X movie starring Denzel Washington when he portrayed Malcolm X, when Malcolm X was going into the Audubon Ballroom right before he was murdered. The dirty nigga Bobby Womack was. He ended up not only messing with Sam's wife, but he ended up messing with Sam's daughter, Linda. She was a teenager. Got her pregnant, had a child by her. Passed Linda on to his brother, and his brother married Sam Cooke's daughter. And with Sam Cooke's daughter had a baby by Bobby Womack. And this is talking about some dirty, nasty niggas. And that's Womack with Sam's daughter. Crut ball motherfucker. It was all an act with Sam. Barbara Cooke played him to the T. She was, sort of a Kardashian of the black Kardashian of the 60s. And those are the soul stirrers. And that's where Sam Cooke first started off at. So, and that's the story of brother Sam Cooke. Legend. Powerful brother. Made a song, Chain Gang. That's the Cooke family. Brothers and sisters. And which he took care of. He took care of his family. And, however, he was never the same after Malcolm had passed. And I actually, when Cassius Clay beat Sonny Liston in the first fight, if you watch the fight at the end, Ali calls Sam Cooke into the ring. That's how close they were. That's how tight they were. Very special brothers. They meant a lot. And Sam's legacy still lives on. Chain Gang, Cupid, Change Gonna Come. Well, for the young people, Change Gonna Come is I Was Born by the River. In case you didn't know what that record was about, the lyrics of that record. And so Sam Cooke was a legend. He leaves a strong legacy. Very powerful. I call him the Michael Jackson of the 60s. And that's the deal on Sam Cooke. And I'm going to be back with y'all shortly on another topic. Hotep, Black Power.